Budget which have been presented by Madam Sitaraman. It's a really historic budget. We all know we have to develop very fast, and she has given impetus to the rural development. She has given impetus to the industries. She has taken care of the individuals. She has taken care of the startups also. I mean, it's all inclusive, growth she wanted to do. And see, I think this is very successful. We all see it. No, we can also see, there are very few voices coming against this budget. Even the opposition, they are not saying anything. This itself is the proof that this budget is very well balanced. I'm not a political person. I'm just, as a common person, I can say I'm happy with this budget, and this budget is really going to benefit if we go through the nitty gritty and the small things which we come later, coming days we can deliberate and discuss it. This is very, very beneficial, and particularly the new tax regime which government has brought, it's going to be help greatly in simplifying the matter regarding the income tax and other people. Thank you.
Any benefits for middle class people?
This is for the middle class only. See, the 7 lakh exemption in the tax regime is there, middle class, until 15 lakhs. You have to pay very few. It's a tax slab is very less, so it's very attractive. It's very attractive. This is for the middle class only. She has said in the budget speech also. This is for the middle class budget. For the very long time, middle class. We were all expecting. I am also middle class. So we were all expecting tax cut. So this is a great opportunity has been given in the budget by the Madam Sitaraman, and we should take all advantage. After deliberating it. Individual discretion. You have to see the pros and cons. If you are in the old scheme, and I said earlier that you have already made the investment in the LIC or other saving schemes, then you can migrate it. This is very beneficial. And if you are a very new, young, you have just joined the service and all this thing, you can see the pros and cons, and you can take decision according to your prudence. That is what I want to say. Thank you.
Vanakkam, CA Amrit here. Part of FICCI, we have been conducting a union budget post-analysis session along with our knowledge partner BDO. We have been analyzing on the union budget 2023-24. So if you ask me, keeping in mind the history when we started right from 1947, when our budget expenditure was 197 crores, and right now if you see long way back after 75 years, now the budget is almost, if you see just the capex part is around 10 lakh crores. So we have grown far way in terms of budget. Yes, there have been an ups and downs, but if you see the overall budget, I would say it was a balanced budget, keeping in mind the long-term vision of say India 100, where at 2047 we reach to a stage where we are one of the fastest growing economy. So that's where we are looking at in terms of this budget, if you see. And yes, in terms of personal income tax, there has been an increase in the slab rate for the new tax regime. So it's basically a push from the government side for people to opt for new tax regime, where from 5 lakhs to 7 lakhs the tax slab has been increased. Yes, there may be a marginal benefit out of this, but it doesn't mean that you should stop investing or stop saving and do not get into the social security. That is also critically important, keeping in mind. And yes, in terms of GST, there has been a good impact in terms of ease of doing business, where this decriminalization procedures and from 1 crore to 2 crore, the prosecution levels have been increased. So there we could see some leverage in terms of non-compliance, compounding of various offences. That leverage has been given in terms of GST. In terms of customs duty, we would see a lot of changes has been done in terms of cutting down the rates of custom duty, which will in turn boost a lot of imports for raw materials, where you could bring down the cost and maybe manufacturing in India. Domestic production will boost. That will eventually overall benefit the supply chain. And I'm sure this union budget has been a balanced budget, not giving too much leverage on various other expenditures, but keeping our focus intact in terms of our vision of job creation, of empowerment, women empowerment. A lot of focus has been given. In terms of startups, yes, we could not see a lot of benefits. But in terms of this DPAT and 80 IAC benefit, this 3 years income tax exemption, that has been extended to next year also for all the startups. So I'm sure the startups should make use of this technology and this 80 AAC section benefit, where 3 years there's no income tax. I'm sure that's a great benefit if you could save any startup. And until 10 years you could do this, and definitely there's a cost saving. And in terms of ease of doing, cost of doing business, yes, we see a lot of compliances are there, and but in the end, compliances to make sure there's more transparency, there's more flow into the economy, where overall the cost can be cut down. So I could say it was a very good budget as far as I can see. First time I could see in this budget lot of benefits and lot of subsidies will be given for the tribal people, especially for the tribal people. And I could say this is what is really inclusive, because special focus has been given for tribal people to make them into entrepreneurs, where they could do some skilled work. And all along, whatever efforts they have been taking, there were a lot of middlemen in between till the consumer were reached. So all these tribal people, all their efforts was not monetized. Now special emphasis has been given. Various entrepreneurship facilities and startups will be built by scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and various other peoples. So I think there will be a lot of shift. We could see maybe 10 years down the line that impact of now people getting into this. And I'm sure entrepreneurship, it's a long way to go.